See, this nigga's over here trying to take advantage of my body. That shit got me pissed the fuck off. I'm pissed the fuck off right now because I don't play games with people. I don't bother people. I don't play fucking games. That's one thing I don't do. I don't play no motherfucking games. And so basically, let me tell y'all what's going on. Because y'all know I ain't really been telling y'all everything because I've been trying to catch up on a whole bunch of stuff and have myself together. Okay, so basically, the dude that I'm with, I met him that day when I said they setting us up and I was sitting outside in the white wig. I went to the train station and I was actually on my way to the mall to take back to actually go get something or exchange something, I don't know. And I seen a whole bunch of police officers running into the train station at Westlake. And Marcus was in the house having me all sitting outside and everything. And basically, when I saw all these police officers running to the train station, I was about to go into the train station. I don't know what they was running there for, or there was some sort of emergency down there. But this guy was looking at me from across the parking lot, and I turned, I see him in his car, and he was like, come in, try to come in. So I noticed him, and, he looked like, a younger dude or whatever, like, mid-age. So I looked at him, and I was like, well, I am homeless, you know what I'm saying? I was on the way to the mall, but let me see what this dude talking about. Because normally I would just be like, no, I don't want to talk to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't be wanting to be bothered, all they want to do is ride on top of you all fucking day, so I was like, well, let me go see what he's talking about because I'm homeless. So now they forcing me to have to talk to men and I don't want to talk to them. And so I went over to his car and I got in the car with him. And, he was like, oh, what you finna do? What you finna get into? La, la, la. I told him, I was like, well, I'm finna go to the mall, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, okay, well, I'll take you or whatever. So he ended up taking me to the mall and he ended up coming in the mall and buying the stuff that I was going to purchase and buying me some stuff that I wouldn't have been able to afford to get for myself. So everything seemed cool or whatever. Like, I think we ended up going to get a room. We didn't have sex. He didn't mention sex or anything, but I think he was like, oh, you want to come lay with me in this bed? Because it was like 2 beds or whatever. And I was like, no, I don't want to lay with you, la, 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 la. And then, so, like, I think I might have stayed, like, another night with him. And Marcus was hitting me up, and me and Marcus was still talking on the phone and everything here and there. But he was not trying to let me come in the house. Like, he was telling me I could come. But then, when I was finna come, he was telling me, the police looking for him and all kind of stuff or whatever. It was like he was just trying to make up every excuse to keep me from coming back to the house. And so the guy had tried to get me to sleep in the bed with him again, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't end up sleeping in the bed with him. And so he ended up telling me, like, I fell asleep, and he was like, Drea, wake up. And I was like, like, damn, this nigga waking me up early in the morning, like, it wasn't even checkout time yet. And he was like, oh, I'm finna drop you off somewhere. I gotta be to work, or I don't know. At some point, he ended up dropping me off over by the West End where I had went to go get my clothes and stuff. So he ended up dropping me off. And I sat over there by the West End like all day long. And I called people, I contacted people, I text people to try to see where I could stay at. But everybody was like, oh, you can ride along with me, you can tag along with me, like, you can come. But I didn't know if, like, I'll go with them and they just not let me spend the night or whatever. So, I was trying to figure out something where I knew I could spend the night. And so this dude started texting me and was like, oh, what you doing? And I was just thinking about him because I was telling myself, I was like, the only reason why this dude even told me to leave was because I didn't get in the bed with him. I wouldn't get in the bed with him. And so I was like, I pretty much know he and his feelings about that, because he was like, oh, he gonna handle some business. But then he texted me and told me, he was like, oh no, you can stay in the room. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go handle my business and you can stay in the room. But then he turned around and took me to the West End anyway. So I told myself, I was like, well, he told me the room was paid for, so, and I could have stayed in the room. So what was his point of actually making me leave? And so I told him that. I said, when he texted me, I was like, oh, I was just thinking about you. He was like, oh, okay, well, what's up? I was like, what was the point of you making me leave? And he was like, oh, I had to handle some business. He's like, but besides, you didn't want a nigga to touch you anyway. And so I knew that's what it was. I was like, okay, that's what it was. So he decided he was going to try to drop me off somewhere. And I had tried to get Marcus to let me come there that morning. I think the night before that. So the first night, I think he was going to drop me off. And then he ended up letting me stay a second day, because Marcus had told me that I could come back to the house, back to his house. And then when I went to Marcus' house, well, no, not when I went, but when I was on my way to Marcus' house, Marcus had told me that his roommate Dave was saying that if Andrea come back in here, I'ma tell somebody or whatever, la la la. So this was Marcus was telling me. Marcus was telling me this on the phone. I was like, nah. I was like, it just seemed like you trying to just set me up outside. I was like, it seemed like you just trying to have me outside on the streets. If I'm dealing with you, you gonna try to set it up to where I have to be outside, because he had just told me to come to his house. Then when I said I was on the way and I told him my situation, all of a sudden he was telling me that I couldn't come. So it's like, as long as he feel like I have somebody who can help me, then he gonna try to lure me out of that situation. And then once I don't have anybody, then he gonna leave me out there on the streets like a setup. And so the guy heard me talking to Marcus on the phone, and I was like, it's just like you just trying to have me stranded outside or whatever. And so the dude was like, he was like, oh, well, you can stay in the room, la, la, la. So I did. And I think that was the second day that I stayed in the room. So when I was sitting over at the West End, I was like, so what was your whole reasoning of dropping me off? And he was like, well, my reasoning for dropping you off was because, I had to handle some business and you didn't even want a nigga to touch you anyway. And so that's when I kind of was like, man, here they go with that bullshit about my body again, because I can't just explain to somebody what my situation is and expect them to just help me. So I kind of just go along with it and hope that they don't try to take advantage of me, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. They men. They're going to keep on trying to take advantage. But my thing is that these people know who I am. These women know the situation that they tried to put me in. And I'm going to just tell y'all why the fuck I'm mad right now. Like, I'm fucking pissed right now. I'm so fucking pissed that I started praying in tongues. And y'all know that I don't pray in tongues unless somebody really fucking trying me. And this nigga is really fucking trying me right now. So I ended up leaving with him from the West End. So he came and got me from the West End. He was like, what you doing? I was like, my phone dying. And my phone ended up dying on me while I was around the West End train station in the West End Mall. And I plugged my phone up and he was like, I'm here. I'm outside. I came to get you or whatever. So I got in a car with him and we went to a motel. And I don't know exactly how long we stayed at that motel. I think we probably only stayed like a night or two at that motel. But I had a vision about Marcus. And the vision that I had, it was like one of my cousins was accusing Marcus of trying to talk to her. Like, and at that point, I was like, I'm not finna be faithful to Marcus, because if he was to ever go around the women in my family, he probably would try to have sex with one of my cousins or my sisters or whatever. So I was like, I'm not finna be faithful to a man that was trying to dog me out. So when the dude started pushing up on me, like, I laid in the bed with the guy, and I laid in the bed with him because, I know what he said when he dropped me off the first time. I didn't want him to touch me. I was sleeping in a separate bed and I didn't want to get in the same bed with him. So he ended up dropping me off. So this night I was in the bed with him and he was pushing up on me and I wasn't going to do it. But then I thought about it. I was like, he been nice to me. I was thinking about that. And then I was thinking about how evil Marcus had been to me, and I was like, he was kissing on me, and it turned me on. So, I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I did it with him. Now, we ended up coming here to this hotel, and everything was good, everything was going fine or whatever, but it's like the only thing I would be able to do is just like sleep and then wake up and have sex and go to sleep and wake up and have sex and go to sleep. It's like I wouldn't be able to do anything for myself, and I'm getting very sick right now. Like, I'm not really sick, but I'm getting sick in the spirit. I'm getting sick and tired of the devil trying to pull the same bullshit on me and then trying to keep me silent. So basically, like, like I shower, take care of myself, things like that. And I recall him asking me for sex. And I know the night before last, it wasn't last night, it was the night before last, I had sex with the man. Like, I can't let a man get on top of me because I'm pregnant and I haven't told him that. I don't know if he knows. He probably does know. It could be a setup. I'm not sure. But I can't let a man just be all on top of me and I'm pregnant. So I let the man get behind me and hit me from the back. And I think it was in the morning time before he went to work or that night or whatever. But you know, while we was doing it, I just felt like I wanted it to be over. But I tried to enjoy myself, as much as possible. Um, and at the end, it was somewhat enjoyable for me, but it's still that lingering feeling when it's going, like, just hurry up and finish what you gonna do or whatever so I can lay back down and go to sleep. And so last night he came back yesterday from work, and I had just been getting out of the shower and everything, and I remember at some point him asking me like, oh, he wants sex, baby, let me get some sex. And I didn't want to. I wasn't feeling good, because I have all kind of medical issues, you know what I'm saying, as far as me getting tired and getting aches and pains and stuff. And so I also have to take very good care of myself. So I have to have that daily time to take care of myself and to rest, especially if I'm not feeling well. Then I have to rest more. And like, I wasn't feeling good, and I was in a lot of pain as far as some ailments that I have. It really dental ailments and stuff like that, and I can't afford a dentist. So sometimes if I eat the wrong things, I'll start feeling bad. And so he had left a bunch of Oreo cookies and cakes and all of that stuff in here, and there ain't no gas station or store that's nearby for me to go to. So I just ate the junk, and it made my teeth hurt. I didn't feel good. So I laid down, and as soon as I laid down, he was trying to touch me and get me to have sex. And I was like, oh, I'm sleepy, and that's what I said. I didn't want to tell him I was ailing, like, I got some dental problems or whatever. But I just told him that, I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. And he probably tried it again this morning, and I was tired. Um, I still feel a little achy and stuff right now, but I feel much better being rested. I haven't eaten no chocolate or candies or anything today, so I feel pretty good. And he's stressing me because he didn't come home. Well, he didn't come back from work, and so early this morning I was hungry. I didn't have no breakfast, and I called him. And I was telling him, like, can you come here on your lunch break and give me something to eat? And he was like, oh, no, because my boss man is there. And my boss man not going to let me leave. Every other time, every other day that I've been knowing this guy since I met him, he get off on his lunch break, morning break, all this. But all of a sudden he can't. So I was like, well, just order me a pizza because I wasn't finna be sitting up in here starving. Y'all know I ain't finna do that. So he ended up ordering me a pizza. So we had some food. I had some pizza and everything. But I had noticed that when it was time for him to get off work, he never came. And so I was like, okay, I remember last night, I was trying to hide, y'all know, my hair and everything. I was trying to hide my little braids because I had actually did some more braids underneath and made them smaller from how they was the last time. If y'all can see, they smaller. But I didn't want the man to see me like that, but he just needed to use the restroom, popped up in the bathroom all late last night, seen, how a female look when she ain't got her makeup and had a hot ass mess. And he seen me like that, I was still beautiful, but not in the sense of like how he met me with my hair done, makeup, outfit, clothes to the T. So when you start living with the person, you gonna see sides of them that you wouldn't see if y'all just meeting for a date and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like he's mistreating me now. No, I don't feel like he's mistreating me now. I know that he is mistreating me now. He did not come back. And so I called him and he didn't answer the phone. So I ended up texting him, calling him again a little bit later, and he picked up the phone, or he called me back. He picked up the phone, and he was saying that he had to do something for his baby mama and his kids. And I hate when niggas try to do you dirty and then try to bring their kids up into the matter and make it seem like you trying to come in between their children. Like, I would never try to come in between a man and his children, but the man gonna tell you, oh baby, tomorrow I gotta go get my kids, or baby, today I gotta get my kids. Like, and this morning he was like, oh baby, let me just get 5 minutes, and I was like, no. So I know how men get about me and my vagina, and they get very angry and vindictive about my pussy. And Marcus did the same thing. Anytime I tell him no one motherfucking time, he gotta start an argument. He gotta kick me out the motherfucking house. He gotta just go through all these emotions because of the one time that I told him no. And this dude is way older. Probably he's too big. He's too grown to be getting in his feelings because somebody told him no. You know what I'm saying? And so I called him again and I asked him, I was like, are you going to be going for a long time? And he was like, no, no, he said, no, I ain't going to be gone that long, just after I finish handling my business with my kids. So I was like, okay, but I already knew that I was being persecuted because I didn't give him my vagina, because I didn't have sex with him right when he wanted it. I have the Holy Spirit. Like, I know what time it is, when somebody starts to mistreat me. And I guess he feel like he trying to teach me some sort of lesson or just get me to leave, without just telling me that that's what he want to do. It's very cold outside and I'm gonna have to figure out a plan. I've been ignoring a lot of dude phone calls since I've been here because I was tired. I needed to rest and I didn't want to be rude, and be all on the phone with a whole bunch of guys that really can't even do nothing for me. But at the same time, I need to have options or whatever, because once you rub me the wrong way, then you just did it. You just rubbed me the wrong way. And he too big and too grown to be getting up in his feelings because I told him that I wouldn't have sex with him because I was going to give him some pussy tonight. First of all, had he had been an adult about it and had he been a man about it when I told him no and not have got in his feelings, then tonight he'd have been getting some. Tomorrow morning he'd have been getting some. But now we finna have to break this off because I'm not finna be nowhere with somebody mistreating me because you not finna make me feel like I'm obligated to give you no pussy. You see what I'm saying? So when a man want to be like, oh, well, I'm going to try to starve her, or I'm going to try to neglect her, or I'm going to try to not show up or and not be there for her because she didn't give me sex, then it's time to end that shit because I'm not finna desire you deep down. I'm going to start feeling like now I'm being forced and that made me feel like I'm being sex trafficked. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, now you're trying to force me and neglect me because I wasn't feeling well. I didn't have sex with you when I wasn't feeling good. I didn't even want to have sex with nobody to begin with. So for me to be in a position where I have to go into a man's home because these women that know my situation are so jealous that they want to try to see me get ran through when they know legally I have civil rights to where I'm a victim of domestic violence and I'm with child. There's no reason why I should be getting passed from man house to man house. And I've been crying out on social media for 6 months trying to get somewhere safe for me to work on my case about my pregnancy and my child. And I'm so fucking pissed off right now that this nigga over here trying me. So now it is 10:43. I didn't keep calling back to back. I'm not one of them type of people or whatever. That's how I know when somebody trying to do something wicked to me. Because all this damn time done went by. I ain't called this man, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? I asked him if he could do me a favor if he was gonna be gone for a very long time, and he never texted me back. So that shows me that he feel like he got the upper hand. Oh, if he not gonna get sex from me, and I'm not about to be sex trafficked. I had sex with the man because I felt like, he had been a gentleman to me, and I somewhat said okay, but I shouldn't even have did that because recalling that he did drop me off the first night because I didn't want to sleep in the bed with him. They sex trafficking me. They sex trafficking me. And I'm not getting paid for it. It's because I'm in a vulnerable position and I'm pregnant with people stealing my fucking ID and plotting on me in their fucking houses and shit. And I'm not going to cry because I asked God to make sure that I be strong and that I walk in the power of Jesus Christ. And God is not going to be sitting up in here crying because they sex trafficking me. And it's not my fault that they sex trafficking me neither. So I ain't got no reason to be ashamed of how many men that I have been forced to have sex with. And I'm not talking about no old rape you, bop you upside the head, force you, put you in a situation to where they can manipulate it to make it look like they did not force you. No, it's forcing me. Stealing my home and my baby, denying me medical care, and family sitting over there trying to keep me outside on the fucking streets and all that shit. This is sex trafficking. And they doing it so I can't get Melbourne back. So they can try to say that Melbourne mother is some dirty drug-addicted prostitute when they was all coming in the spirit telling me they was going to be raping my little boy. And then they out here fucking me. And I ain't seen my baby. Ain't no telling what they've been doing to him. Me and my son need to be together in our own house and leave all these pedophiles and rapists outside. So it's going on 11 o'clock and I called him. Because at that point I was like, no, he's being wicked. And he's trying to be evil to me because I did not answer the phone for him. And I'm tired of this shit. And I'm going to leave. I'm gonna leave because you're not fin to abuse me sexually. You're not gonna abuse me. And you ain't finna be abusing me every fucking night. You know, I don't give a fuck what a nigga buy me. You could buy me stuff. You could get my nails done. You could buy me outfits. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do for me. But when I say I don't want to have sex, you're not going to abuse me. You're not going to sit over there and try to do evil ass shit to me and leave me sitting up in the fucking room by myself all day with no way to get around and, you know, just evil ass shit. Just wickedness. I'm not finna carry that in my heart. And I'm glad that I spoke out about it because I shouldn't have been forced to have sex with this man. Marcus and Eva, all that shit that they pulled at that apartment complex is the reason why I had to have sex with somebody else. You know, they'll try to say, oh, ain't nobody forced her, she could just leave. Yeah, and be outside. Exactly. And if I go inside somebody's